Welcome, and thanks for joining me for this edition of Scope. City Mission in Port Moresby graduated 32 women with certificates in small business after a month's training at the City Mission's head office in Koki in the nation's capital. The graduation ceremony was held on Friday, 30th July 2021 at the City Mission's Life Skills Training Center and farm at Murigeta, just outside of Port Moresby.
This was the 11th batch, and so far, 360 women have graduated from this course, facilitated by City Mission PNG in collaboration with the Swiss Academy for Development and funding support by Puma Energy in Switzerland. With the motto Start Small, Act Locally, Think Globally, the 11th batch were unique in having participants from technical professional background to simple homemakers and young women who had just finished formal school. Tracy Narawan, an informal sector mother of one, explained.
Most of us, we start our little SME, doing our little informal table market and all that. So we learn about how to save up. That's one thing. How to balance or like all to behavior buying, behavior expense. That's what we learn.
Mona Lisa Saragum left a paid job as a secretary 23 years ago to pursue her dream to be a businesswoman. However, she struggled to maintain that status for years until she was introduced to this training. Her dream is now resurrected, as she puts it, all due to the motivational trainer, Pastor Joe Hanuma. She likened it to seeing a light at the end of a tunnel.
But as I stand here, I would only witness how gracious, merciful, faithful, patient our Heavenly Father is. Through City Mission and the training sessions with Pastor Joe, my dreams for business resurrected. My confidence to walk into any job employment is extraordinary.
Pastor Joe Hanuma adds that women to be determined and not to become pushovers.
When it's good time or the bad times, you become a land cruiser. Amen? And I would like to end by saying, we start small, act locally, but head blow you with a dog. What's the word I use? Coconuts? Yeah. That must globally, internationally, worldwide. So this small body, when she walks, mine is out there and you produce more.
General Manager for City Mission Gerald Bengesses was happy the graduation took place at the farm because it gave an opportunity to expose the good work being done here. City Mission's training program for unfortunate young men currently there has between 150 and 160 young men participating in a 14-month training program.
Providing basic training of carpenting, electrical, plumbing, and automotive. And the program goes about 14 months, and basically to graduate out of it. And the purpose is basically to look for the most unfortunate young men in the settlements and from the streets and the dropouts who wouldn't get a chance otherwise.
Pastor Hanuma sees the opportunity to ask the graduates and the families and others present to tell about the existence of City Mission.
We have boys who are coming into this place without father and mothers. In this place, one thing that stands out is hope. We give them hope.
Just as the mission provides encouragement, love and care for the young men in the formation of life and character, Pastor Hanuma encouraged the women to be agents of change.
We cannot solve the issues and the problems of this world, but the only thing we can do, wherever you go, you start you can make a change there.
Graduates said the training they received was a life-transforming training. It did not only cover the business aspect of life, but the trainer connected the business life into spiritual transformation.
Now I have an opportunity to get a job, save up, and then do what I always wanted to do. I'm always into Mary Blouse jewelry as a young woman, so that's my main big goal or dream, is to own a shop for myself.
Grace Saragum now encourages other young women like herself to take up this business training with City Mission.
To all the young ladies out there who finish school and who's just out there, this training is a really good opportunity to do something you've always wanted to do. It gives you confidence and opportunities to get a job, do business, do something you've always wanted to do. And yeah, I really would recommend this training to other ladies out there.
Jessie Wama, a geologist for 20 years, left formal employment 5 years ago to start a consultancy business with her profession, intending to assist other women with her expertise.
I wasn't able to progress, even though I've tried it. And I've always seen myself as a budding entrepreneur. And I've come to the stage where I saw that I was educated to be employed, and I was not educated to be an entrepreneur.
She decided to go to this training, and what she received exceeded her expectations. There, she found women from all walks of life.
I was thinking, I'm probably not in their shoes, and it's like if I really want to help these women, I need to get down to their level. So being with them, participating with them, I saw that if I can use my experience and knowing what I've learned to be with them and to mingle with them, I know that I can be a difference.
Wama said though the women went there expecting to learn something about financial literacy and business, they learned something much more than that, and she is thankful.
A holistic approach to everything, to your physical, spiritual, and your mental. So we recommend that this training should go rural. Go into areas where people think that where they are, these areas are not good to do business. So they're migrating into urban areas thinking that job opportunities would satisfy them. But from what we've learned, wherever you are, it's blessed. You just have to look at your environment and see what you can get out of your environment to help you, help sustain your family, so you can live a life that you want.
The next intake for the training will be in October 2021.
When we come back, Enga province comes under the spotlight of sorcery accusation-related violence, where researchers conclude that community laws and safe house facilities could be a start to an effective way of addressing SARV. Welcome back. Enga province has come under the spotlight on how law enforcers have dealt with sorcery accusation-related violence. The recent study conducted by the PNG National Research Institute has revealed that police and magistrates intervene only in a few of the cases. Usually a local leader or a religious figure intervenes. After compiling the findings, the study was concluded that there is a need for community laws and safe house facilities and a greater investment in finance and personnel to create an effective way forward in addressing SARV. The study documented 179 incidents of accusation involving 309 accusations.
It is a must for Papua New Guinea communities to have enforceable laws prohibiting accusations relating to cases of sorcery. This was emphasized in the latest report on sorcery accusation-related violence by the PNG National Research Institute. The study was focused on Enga province. The database was built on the basis of forms completed by a network of local data gatherers who documented accusation incidents that led to violence and those that did not lead to violence. The report stated that sorcery or sanguma was not known in Enga until about 2010. Sanguma was a term familiar in other parts of the country like Simbu and the Sipik. The first news of sanguma or witches reportedly came from Lagaip River in the western end of Enga, inhabited by the Hewa people. They were considered different from the rest of Enga in language and culture. The news of witches in human form was new, as Engans traditionally believed illness and death to be related to ghostly or supernatural spite. Sanguma was now a common explanation for such occurrences. In that same year, the press reported sorcery cases in Enga. A woman was burnt to death not far from Wabeg. When the terrible story of the torture and burning to death of Angeline Kepari Leniata came out, this sparked nationwide criticism on sorcery accusation-related violence against women and girls. Still, this never stopped another woman in Porgera from being accused, and although she fled to the Western Highlands, the rumors followed her there, and she was publicly accused and burned alive in Mount Hagen in February 2013. 2 more women succumbed to torture and died after that incident, also in 2013. According to the research data in cases of SARV, events of torture and the eventual death of these women were triggered most often from incidents of sickness and death. Researchers also found that the influence of pre-existing issues such as conflict, jealousy over money and goods, sexual jealousy or land disputes led to violence as well, and these pre-existing conditions most often set the scene for accusation once news of sickness or death starts circulating in the community. The data also revealed that 22 males out of 307 were accused. Most women identified were over the age of 40, had no formal education, and more than half had been accused before. The study also notes the vulnerability of children of accused women who are secondary victims of SARV, who have lost parents, or those who have lost property or have to live with the stigma of being associated with sorcery or witchcraft as a result of their relationship with an accused. They should not be overlooked in understanding and responding to the trauma of SARV. The study has also found there were attempts to deal with accusation in non-violent ways, led by a village leader or by a pastor or religious figure who would intervene to try to stop the violence. Police and court officials only intervene in minority of the cases. Magistrates are to base their decision on evidence, but often the only evidence is that someone has suffered misfortune or died, and there is little evidence to support a claim of sorcery. Confessions are made under duress, and the fact that a sick person has recovered is claimed as evidence that the torture was justified. Enga has a tiered court system from the local village court to a joint court to a higher court called Operation Mekimsave, which has the power to demand that the whole tribe pay hefty amount of compensation for wrongs such as accusation or torture, and this has begun to have a restraining effect, particularly in the area around Wapenamanda. Meanwhile, the police and the defense force personnel play a limited role in Enga, but when they do rescue an accused, they seek help from church agencies because there is no established safe house for the accused to take refuge. The report stated that the Enga provincial government has made several attempts to address the issue of SARV through several workshops and events, but each one have had little sustained follow-ups. However, it is notable that even when local leaders intervene, they most likely use legalistic arguments that there is no proof of sorcery in that case, or argue that violence is against the law. Such findings can be useful in development of proactive awareness materials. And while the church has spoken out against the violence imposed on these alleged sanguma, in Enga, the report reveals it has also denied the reality of sanguma and excommunicating communities that participated in SARV. It was reported that Lutheran missionary Anton Lutz and Ruth Kissam from the Tribal Foundation have taken a stand. The response from others in Enga has often been unclear and ambiguous. The report says that different opinions tend to aggravate confusion in the minds of the people, and it is necessary for all Christian churches to preach a unified gospel that protects all PNG citizens. And so the NRI issues paper number 37 stated that when mediation is unsuccessful and violence ensues, it is most often a pastor or a religious figure, village leader or immediate family member who intervenes to try to stop the violence. Therefore, the report concludes by drawing attention to the need for community laws and safe house facilities and greater investment in finance and personnel for creating an effective way forward in addressing SARV.
After the break, a rock star at heart, the ever-humble Ian Taukuro is approached by an Italian band to record the song I'll Supply the Love by renowned American rock band Toto. The recording was part of the Toto Social Tribute project. Welcome back to Scope. Music was born to create a way of expressing our feelings as well as our emotions. Some have even considered music as a way to escape from the pains we experience, but also it plays an important part in our life than just being a source of entertainment. For a self-made rock star, it's the appreciation of the art.
Rock and heavy metal are genres of music expressing an intense, virtuosic and powerful style, driven by the aggressive sounds of the distorted electric guitar and a singer that leads his band through a roaring crowd that cannot get enough. Ian Taukuro, who is from Milimbe and Morabe, is a humble man who works as a property manager by day and a born rock star when at home or at an event. Ian does not consider himself a professional singer, but he has been performing with amateur bands since 1990. The band he is currently in is called Undecided. Since primary school back in the 80s, Ian realized that he could carry a tune, singing along to songs on the radio and matching pitch with artists from bands like Cold Chisel, White Snake, Boston, and of course Toto. After university, he had his first ever gig performing live in front of a crowd he says would rip you apart if they didn't think you were genuine. The event was for the Port Moresby show back in 1990, and as nervous as he claimed to be, he delivered a good show.
Of course, I had no idea what I was getting myself into because I had never sang anywhere before in my life. And here I am about to go in front of the most vicious crowd that I could ever get in front of in a performance.
Even though Ian comes from a family that has no actual connection to music from the performance perspective, he admits that his dad does have a nice singing voice when in church. His late mother was eclectic in her taste of music and loved dancing to the tunes as well. This appreciation for music showed in Ian's brother Chris in his playlist of choice songs. Ian has been for a time uploading videos of himself singing online using only his mobile device and a Bluetooth speaker that would play the karaoke songs he sings. The foremost inspiration behind his musical passion came from his late mother, and today his musical journey continues to be inspired by his wonderful wife Margaret of 20+ years. Both very wise women to encourage him in performing this way that kept the timbre in his vocals powerful and fresh.
I suppose that would be my mother would be the starting point, because she had a very eclectic sense of taste of music, I should say. From when I was very young, I do recall how she was always listening to some kind of music when she was in the house. We had a record player. Does anybody remember a record player? This is the old form of the device that people use to listen to music on the vinyl recordings. Anyway, she would listen to music continuously, and she loved all sorts of music, from orchestra to hard rock. And in fact, I love hard rock a lot, and I think I acquired that taste through her, because she was the one who introduced me to these bands like Deep Purple and Status Quo. Those are the premier hard rock bands back in the day. My wife would be the main inspiration for what I do, because she has encouraged me a lot to keep on singing, because she knew we've been together for almost 20 years now, and she knows that I can sing well. Well, she knew I could sing well from the very first time we started going out together, and just lately, starting from last year, she was suggesting, since you don't play with any bands, why don't you just keep on singing, putting out videos there for people to watch you sing, and it's good for you in that way to keep yourself musically active, and also to exercise the voice, because if I don't sing as much as I do, then I could probably lose the ability to sing as well. It's a muscle, so you got to keep it exercised, like in any normal sort of exercise.
Ian is quite the rock star on stage, and his uploaded videos of him singing are like that of a trained professional. He would disagree with that statement, but his adoring fans at events and online would say otherwise. The magic of some of his uploads all happen, wait for it, in his eldest son's room. That's right, no studio setting, but the comfort of his own home. Well, his son's room, so to speak. Who needs a fancy get-up anyway? For Ian, it's a very simple setup. Nothing high-tech about it at all. So far, with using only that is available to him for making his videos, it is working well. Being the life of the party and a firecracker of a singer, Ian said, "It's wonderful to see the joy it brings to people who watch and listen. If I can make my audience feel a little less burdened about their day just from watching a grey old guy in a bucket hat singing his head off to a song that they also identify with, then that's my good deed done for the day. I made someone feel happy." Recently, a wonderful Italian musician online called Ezio Citelli approached Ian. He had been trying to record the song I'll Supply the Love by Toto for some time, but could not find anyone in his immediate circle of musicians who could sing the song well.
According to Toto aficionados, so these are people who really love Toto, they consider the song I'll Supply the Love to be one of the hardest songs to sing, because if you listen to the song, the singer, the great Bobby Kimball, he really puts all his energy in, and passion. He's really, really passionate about that. You can really feel the fire in his voice when he sings that song. Ezio had been looking for somebody who could do something like that with the cover of the song that he and his band were about to do. Well, so he came across my video online, and he just said, "Wow, this guy can actually sing that song well."
Ezio went online and happened across a video Ian posted on YouTube of himself singing the song, and soon after contacted Ian through Instagram and asked if he would like to sing the song with his band.
I readily agreed. I said, "Yeah, no problem. I'm up for singing with anybody who wants to play a song. I have this voice. I love to sing, and I like to make people feel good when they hear me sing." And so I said, "Yeah, no problem."
I found Jan on YouTube. I was looking for someone who sang I Supply the Love. I've listened to so many men, women, until I found him, Jan Saukuro, my man.
When asked about his reaction to Ian's performance of the song I'll Supply the Love,
he sang I'll Supply the Love while filming himself using just a smartphone. No effect, no microphone. He was full of joy, full of passion. And I thought, okay, that's him I'm looking for. Amazing. I watched all the videos on his channel and he gave me a lot of fun. Then I wrote to Jan from Instagram. I showed him some of our videos and he agreed happily to have fun with us. Everyone in the band loved Jan. He did really a great job. Great.
For the next couple of weeks, the band and Ian recorded and arranged a video that has taken the internet by storm with over 9.2 thousand views and climbing.
It's all good fun. I wasn't expecting quite the reaction that I got from seeing people comment that, this is Papua New Guinea PNG up, and people using the flag emoji in their comments when they're listening to the song, and that made me feel quite proud, knowing that there I am, a Papua New Guinea guy, singing the lead part of a very popular song for an international group of artists, one of whom happens to be a player who actually played in the band Toto.
During the interview, Izio admitted to doing new projects with Ian soon.
We are already doing something else together, not with Taro 99 social tribute project, but it will still be a lot of fun, same.
Really humbled by the experience, loving where this particular episode in my life is taking me. We're all on a journey, as I like to say, and my journey so far is on the up in the musical sense, so I'm enjoying that.
Music brings people together no matter what color, creed or denomination, and with it, it builds everlasting friendships of kindred spirits. Izio keeps in touch with Ian still as they have more fun ahead of them. Izio had this bit of advice to artists of PNG.
To believe in what you do, to never give up. I have always do this. In this way, he's given me a dream. The dream is to play with amazing musicians from all over the world. Hi Carol, thank you for your time. Hi everybody. Greetings to all of you out there and much love from Hilly. Rock and roll.
That ends another episode of Scope, a kind reminder to apply simple measures to prevent the transmission of the coronavirus. Regularly wash your hands with soap and water, cough or sneeze into your elbow, and exercise social distancing. If you are feeling sick, please stay at home. You can also call the COVID-19 hotline number for more information or assistance.